Mildred D. Taylor. Mildred Taylor was born in 1943 in Jackson, Mississippi. Because of the racism that her father had faced throughout his life, they moved to Toledo, Ohio, when Taylor was only 3 months old. As a child, Mildred loved listening to stories of her father's childhood and enjoyed their annual trips to Jackson to visit family and friends. Taylor was an avid reader growing up and could not find enough books to read. She loved any and all books and was encouraged by her father that she could do anything she wanted to when she grew up. Mildred did not face much racial oppression against herself personally, but she was the only black child in her class at school, which sometimes made her feel left out. After Taylor graduated from high school, she attended the University of Toledo. There, she majored in English and minored in history. After finishing her degree, she joined the Peace Corps and through that had the opportunity to go to Ethiopia to teach history and English for 2 years. Mildred Taylor loved Ethiopia. Although she had not been discriminated against completely, she had never felt accepted into the groups at her school. But in Ethiopia, she felt completely accepted. 2 years went by extremely quickly, and Mildred reluctantly returned to the United States. When she came home, she decided to pursue a Master's of Arts degree in journalism. Taylor had already written her first book, The Golden Cadillac, before she even finished her bachelor's. She did this when she was only 19 years old. However, after she graduated, she wrote several more books. These books included Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry, Let the Circle Not Be Broken, The Road to Memphis, The Land, and many others. These books focused on the racial oppression towards the African Americans during the 1900s, specifically the 1960s. Her most popular book was the first of the book series called Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry. This was the first of a trilogy that was written in the 1970s and 80s. A prequel called The Land was added much later in the 2000s. These books were extremely popular and focused on a close-knit family who worked together with love and courage to simply survive in a time where racism was rampant and considered acceptable by many. In addition to being extremely popular, Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry won the Newbery Award in 1977 for its great literary quality. Mildred Taylor's books are historical fiction and all focus on African American struggles during the 1900s. Despite being fictional, they do incorporate some of the stories she was told as a child by her father and her grandfather of her family's past and their experiences as well, specifically in Jackson, Mississippi. In 1971, Taylor moved to Los Angeles. There, while working on one of her books, she met and married Errol Z. Daly in 1972. Just 1 year later, in 1973, they had a child named Portia together. But after only 3 years of marriage, they were divorced in 1975. In 2004, in Jackson, Mississippi, there was a celebration of Mildred Taylor Day, where she went and spoke to hundreds of children about the civil rights movement to give them a knowledge of what happened back in the day, specifically in Jackson. Today, Mildred Taylor is still alive and presently resides in Colorado, United States.